Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody survived the Labor Day holiday. Wanted to talk to everybody today about left side and right side of your brain and how they work and how people use them. Basically, you've all heard that we use about 10% of our brain. That's because most of us use only our left side of the brain in most functions throughout the day. And basically what it breaks down to, from my understanding, is that you have, of course, your patriarchs and your matriarchs. And a lot of people think of that as differences between male and female. One's a patriarch is a male and the matriarchs are females. And it has nothing to do with that. What it has to do with is the different sides of the brain that you use. Basically, what you're looking at there is your matriarchal view of life is the right side of the brain, which is the learning process and the knowledge process. And then you've got the patriarchal side of the brain, which is left side, and that is the aggression side, the dominance of the patriarchs. And that's why people think it's a male and female thing, and it's not. It's a right side, left side thing. And basically what I want everybody to do is do yourself a favor and get a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper, tape it down to a surface, and get 2 pens. 1 pen for each hand. You're going to have your dominant hand, whichever hand that may be, and the other hand, you're going to have a pen in each hand. And I want you to do this very basic and simple exercise and write your name. Using your dominant hand, it's naturally going to write. Take the left, or your other hand, and use a pen in that hand to copy the name in reverse. So at the same time that you're writing your name with your dominant hand in the forward, you're going to use your other hand to write and just copy the motions of your other hand in reverse. And sooner or later, the more you practice that, sooner or later you're going to get to a point where you can write your name in reverse with your non-dominant hand, and then flip it over in a mirror, and it's going to look exactly like your regular dominant hand. And the more, like I said, the more you practice that, the better you get at it. So once you get your first name down, then start doing other words, and then start doing sentences, and then move on to the next level and start doing drawings. Again, start with simple drawings like you would simple words, and then start doing more intricate drawings. And you will amaze yourself at how well both sides of your brain will work together. So again, I want everybody to take a blank piece of paper, tape it to a surface, a pen in both hands, and write your name. Using your dominant hand, and let your non-dominant hand just do it in reverse. And sooner or later, you will see the equivalency of how they both work together. And this, what I'm talking about, I want everybody to understand, we need to start questioning things. And so when you see something, question it in the reverse. Tear it down. Find out what it's constructed of. And basically, when we get down to it, what I'm talking about is the way we communicate with each other. A lot of people today use letters to communicate. And what we've done is we've broken down a concept of the knowledge that we have into sentence structures, and then broke those down into words, and then broke those down into letters. So most people today communicate with letters. And letters are phonetic sounds. Words are concepts. And the sentence structures that we make from those words are the actual knowledge that we have within us. So the better we're able to communicate, the better we're able to express our knowledge. And basically, the thing that we have to understand is these different levels of knowledge are used on us each and every day. When we go into court and we see these words that are pro se, pro per, and this and that we don't understand because they're foreign, we have to realize that we're not meant to understand them. And the problem with that is that inherently, we have so many different levels of communication. There are, whether you like to believe it or not, a lot of people think there's 2 eyes that we see things with, 2 ears that we hear with, a nose that we smell with, a mouth that we taste with and put forth sound, and fingers and body parts that we feel with. And they think that we're limited to those senses as communication levels. And in fact, I believe there are like 360 different degrees of communication. People that are deaf, that can't hear, with these, they hear with these. People that are blind hear with their fingers. They read with their fingers. That's a different level of communication. And what we have to do is we have to open our minds to be able to do that. And like I said in the beginning of the video, if you use a pen in each hand and start practicing writing things in reverse with your non-dominant, you will, if not amaze yourself, you will at least impress yourself. So please, I urge everybody to do these little exercises and start educating themselves on their own abilities. When we get down to that communication, and this is something that's basically used in all kinds of forms of education, and it has explicitly been used in decoding previous languages that were forgotten, such as hieroglyphs, Demotic Egyptian, things like that. And basically what we do is we take one thing that we know of, and we compare it to something else that has similarities, and we're able to coincide with those similarities and see what the same is, and be able to determine that's the same thing. And that's how we decode different languages. Same thing within us in regards to the different ways we can communicate. All we have to do is just find another way of saying the exact same thing in a different form. So, and yeah, Dangston, yes, exactly. We will one day figure out it is all really one sense. And that is a sense of self. And we all have the, I tell people all the time, we have the right to believe what we want to believe. We have the right to make our own choices. And we have the right to change our mind. And so, in and of that self, or in and of that, we ourselves are a sense. One sense. And we communicate that sense in so many different ways. And we have to learn that. And this is why I cannot stress enough. When you learn this stuff, don't keep it to yourself. Pass it on to our next generation and let these future generations have a better chance than what we have today. As things are right now, a lot of people think we're fucked, and we're not. Mankind will survive. A lot of us won't. But mankind itself will. But in the meantime, we have to make sure that we gather up all this knowledge into libraries. Not physical library buildings, but libraries. We have to have keepers of knowledge that will pass that on. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, along with the different levels of knowledge, there's different levels of everything. There's different levels of energy, too. And with that knowledge, I want to show you how to put things together. When you start learning the etymology of the words that we're using, it'll help you understand other things. And so when you look down through the eons at the etymology of the word water, you don't stop at, like, say, the ancient Greek. You go clear back to its original beginning, to the very first language. And that first language defines water. Get this, people. The definition, the original definition of water is electromagnetic energy. Electromagnetic energy. Let's think about that. Electromagnetic energy. How do you get electromagnetic energy out of water? Well, today's society has been dumbed down so much, a lot of people have a hard time thinking about it. But if you really think about it, everything is made of electrons, protons, and neutrons. And the movement of the electrons is what we define today as electricity. Electricity is simply the movement of the electrons. And if everything has protons, electrons, and neutrons, then if you think about the flow of water, it is moving those electrons. The flow of liquids. Oh shit. Set off the alarm. So the flow of water, just the movement of water, all those little molecules bumping in each other, those electrons are trading places. One is getting knocked off of here, and then there's an empty spot here, and it lands there and fills that gap. That's what electrons do when the molecules bump into each other, is they knock each other off. They're not glued with any kind of like super glue. It's just a structure that gets changed. And in water, liquid fluid, it's natural movement. It's the natural state of water is it switches electrons. And all it is a matter of harnessing that motion of electrons. And it's free and it's perpetual. They're hiding it from us, and this is the thing that we have to start realizing. We need to start using both sides of our brain so we can comprehend this stuff, so we can bring it out, so we can be the keepers of knowledge and not other people that are using it for greed and corruption. So understand this stuff, people. You got to start learning this stuff, and the only way you're going to do it is by using your heads. And again, so like I said, when we think of things in today's terms, we're told that we only use 10% of our brain, and we can exercise that just like a weightlifter. A weightlifter has to exercise in order to strengthen his muscles. We have to exercise this in order to strengthen our mind. And the more we exercise it, the stronger it gets. And again, just like a bodybuilder or weightlifter, if they quit using it, they lose it. So we need to start using our minds, using it regularly, both minds, the left sphere and the right sphere, and use them and learn how to use them together. And remember, it's not it's not anybody else's fault but your own. You're the one that doesn't want to use it by questioning things. And granted, that's something that we all get trapped into by listening to our parents, because we have full faith and credit in our parents. But remember, our parents were disillusioned as well. So we have to wake up, and we have to wake up now, and we have to start this process all over again so we can relearn and re-educate our next generation. So that's all I got for now. Again, like I said, start using both sides of your brain. Get a piece of paper, 2 pens, and write your name. Once you write your name, start writing other words. See if that other hand doesn't follow in reverse. And the more you practice it, the better it looks. And then you've got 2 mirror images that look identical. You'd be amazed. I do it on a typewriter. I type backwards all the time. Fucks people up. But yeah, start using both sides of your brain. Alright? God bless. Love y'all. Have a great day.